This is the host, and this is Unexplained. It's the summer of 1994. The Wilson family from Idaho is looking forward to a vacation in California. Dad, James Wilson, 51 years old, is behind the wheel of their Ford Econoline van. Beside him is his wife Tammy, 48 years old. The back are their two kids, 19-year-old Lyle and 17-year-old Savannah. They're smiling and happy, waving at the camera. The whole trip is being recorded on their camcorder. They want to remember every moment. The family is going to Joshua Tree National Park for a week. After that, they'll spend a few days at Disneyland before heading home. The kids are excited to be going to California, but they don't know what's in store for them. June, the family departs on their long journey. Plan is to drive all day on June and then take a break and sleep in the van. On June, they leave early in the morning. Around 11 a.m., they stop for gas. Surveillance cameras roll. The Wilson family can be seen filling up their van. They look happy and relaxed. Some would even say carefree. Everyone waves to the camera, including little Lyle. He's eating a piece of bread while filming. No one could have known that those images would be the last of the Wilson family alive. After gas, the family continues their drive towards their next stop. Their ultimate destination is more than 1,200 miles away. When they get to their hotel, they check in and relax. The next day they go sightseeing, but they'll never reach their final destination. On June, the Wilson family leaves their hotel and gets on the road again. This time they're headed to Las Vegas, Nevada. They're planning to spend the night there before driving to California. That was the last confirmed sighting of the Wilson family. They were never seen again. June, after not hearing from her son and his family for several days, Tammy's sister Susie goes to the police. She tells them that something is wrong. Nobody has heard from the Wilson family in days. It's unusual for them not to check in. Something feels off. Susie worries that something may have happened to them. For now, the police don't believe anything bad has happened. After all, the Wilson family was experienced when it came to road trips. The father, James, had driven across the country many times. He knew the roads like the back of his hand. But as the days pass by without any news of the missing family, people start getting worried. What did the police find out? First, they checked the route the family was supposed to take. They looked for clues, for signs, for anything that could indicate what happened to the Wilsons. But they found nothing. There were no witnesses. There was no evidence that the family had been in an accident or had stopped anywhere along the way. Then the police checked with the family's friends and relatives. Everyone gave the same statement. The family was loving and happy. There were no problems. There were no signs of trouble. Everyone was shocked, and so the search continued. Months passed, but there were no signs of the missing family. The police started putting up posters with the family's picture on them. These were posted everywhere, in public buildings, outside grocery stores, on telephone poles. The hope was that somebody, somewhere, had seen them. Maybe someone knew something. Maybe someone could help the police find the missing family. But sadly, none of the posters led to any new information. As the case grew colder, conspiracies started spreading. Did the Wilson family run away? Were they kidnapped? Could it be something much worse? The truth was that no one really knew what happened to them. Years passed, the kids grew up. Lyle would have graduated college by now, Savannah would have finished high school, but neither of them got the chance. Their lives were cut short. In the years that followed, people forgot about the Wilson family, or so it seemed, But the truth is that some things can never be forgotten. If you're wondering what happened to their house, it's still standing. It's located in a quiet neighborhood in Idaho. Over the years, the local authorities have kept the house untouched. It's almost like a shrine. It's a sad reminder of the family that lived there. If you look inside, you'll see that everything is just as it was when the family disappeared. Toys are scattered around the kids' room. Clothes are neatly folded. Dishes are in the dishwasher. The fridge even has magnets on it. It's a strange feeling to think that this house hasn't been touched in decades. Now let's go back to the present day. You won't believe what was recently found. It was a hot summer day when two locals decided to go for a walk by the lake. They didn't know it at the time, but they were about to make a shocking discovery. You see, for many years, the lake had been dry. It was a mystery to the locals. Where was the water? What happened to it? Many theories were proposed, but none could be proven, and then one day everything changed. The two friends were walking by the lake bed when they saw something shiny. It was sticking out of the ground. At first, they couldn't believe their eyes. They thought it was a metal sculpture of some kind. But as they got closer, they realized it was something else entirely. The object was a van. It was old and rusty, like it had been abandoned for decades. The two friends were shocked. They had never seen the van before. How long had it been there? Who owned it? And why was it buried in the ground? They decided to call the police. When the officers arrived, they used a crane to pull the van out of the ground. It was carefully placed on a truck and taken to a secure location. But this was only the beginning. The police wanted to see what was inside the van. They knew that it could contain evidence of a crime, so they started digging through the dirt and rust to see what they could find. The interior of the van was in a terrible state. It was clear that it had been underwater for a very long time. The seats were destroyed and the walls were covered in dirt. But as the officers looked around, they saw something that made them gasp. There were human bones inside the van. It was clear that the bones were old, like they had been there for decades. The police also found clothes inside the van. Clothes were decayed and smelled terrible, but they appeared to belong to the Wilson family. But this was not all they found. There was also a camcorder. The police weren't sure if it still worked, but they decided to plug it in and see. When they turned on the camcorder, they saw the most amazing footage. It was from the day the family went missing. The officers watched in suspense as the family waved to the camera. They saw James, Tammy, Lyle, and Savannah. They were all smiling and happy, but as the tape played, something terrible happened. The image suddenly cut to black. Then the words "Help me" appeared on the screen. The officers were shocked. What did this mean? Is this a clue? But that wasn't all. As the tape played, a voice could be heard. It was a man's voice, and it said some very disturbing things. He talked about how the family had been taken and how they were going to be killed. He also said that he wanted to send a message to the police, telling them that they would never find the family's bodies. The officers were horrified, had no idea that this tape existed, and now they knew that the person who recorded it was still out there. The police are still trying to find out who recorded the tape and what happened to the Wilson family, but one thing is for sure, this is a case that will never be forgotten. What do you think happened to the Wilson family? You think the person who recorded the tape is still out there? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe.